Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather today. I'm meteorologist Al Peterlin. I'd like to talk about the weather health stresses for May 20th, 2026. We keep additional graphics at tpatw.com. We also have a patient weather storefront on Amazon. Looking at the surface map for Wednesday, it's quite extensive. The Bermuda High off to the Atlantic will be slipping away slowly. However, there is a massive cold front stretching all the way from Bangor to D.C., down to Birmingham, across to Austin, and then all the way back up to Albuquerque. There is a touch of a little low pressure center trying to make its way into Montana. You'll note that there is an extensive area of showers and thunder showers, and probably a lot of instability type showers and thunder showers here in the southern plains, but actually reaching right up into the central plains and all across the Tennessee Valley into the middle Atlantic states. Instability will keep some showers and thunder showers about Florida. Our vitality index, which shows the individual elements that can have an impact on human health, and you can see that we have a lot of activity here from the plains up to the high plains, lots of activity up here in the northeast. Looking at pressure change, just a hint of a bit of falling pressure here in far eastern, northeastern Montana. We have a significant area of rising pressure across Minnesota, down into Illinois, Indiana, northern Ohio, all of Michigan, upstate New York, including the Canadian cities, from Windsor all the way to Toronto. Looking at temperature change, and this again is quite interesting, you'll see that we are looking for those record high temperatures across the northeast to be diminishing, and I think falling back to near normal position. So it's been an unusual spring. Note that we have warming temperatures here in the Dakotas up into Minnesota, and note we have a little bit of unusual warming here going into West Texas and some warming across Wyoming. Looking at the dew point temperatures, and many people don't look at dew point, but it is extremely important in terms of health, and we have rising dew point temperatures all the way up the high plains, especially into the plains, and even across the northern Rockies. Here in northern California also, we have falling dew points, and that'll be post-frontal falling dew points here in the northeast. The vapor pressure just confirming what we've already talked about with dew point. Looking at instability, and this is where that risk of showers, thunder showers, lightning, possible migraine, and we can see that it's rather extensive here up the central portions of Texas, but trying to reach on up into the middle Mississippi and even into the Ohio Valley. Looking at the change in oxygen availability, and this is very interesting, up here in northwestern Montana, a risk of migraine stress. Down in really south central Texas, a risk of migraine stress. And note that there's a risk of migraine stress here, and as you move a little bit, there's a risk of asthma, and then back to a migraine stress as you get down into Mexico. But we also have migraine stress along the New Mexico border, the Texas Panhandle, and then up across eastern Colorado, and then the state of Nebraska. But the most expansive area of migraine risk starts here in Arkansas, the Missouri Boot Heel, covering Tennessee and Kentucky in the Tennessee Valley, and then across all of the Ohio Valley, Illinois up through Ohio, and then up into the Great Lakes, Michigan, across and through Pennsylvania, all of New York, New Jersey, and up in through New England, and all of the Canadian cities from Windsor to Quebec. The risk of asthma and arthritis, a little unusual here in California, Arizona, and Nevada, across Utah, and then across North Dakota into Minnesota. Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather. Your comments are appreciated, and if you hurt, tell us.